Kia ora whānau, and welcome to another episode of Get a Job and Get Healthy with Costas Enterprises. I am your host, Alex Costas, as always. And I just want to start off by saying a massive and amazing thank you to everyone that listens. I said last week that I was at about 750 listens. I've jumped up to 794 listens as of right now. Truly shocking. Really amazed and shocked. Also want to say, before everything starts, happy Easter to all the people that are celebrating Easter as of tomorrow. Over here in New Zealand at the moment, it is Thursday night. I do apologise for the background noise. I am recording this in a parking lot while I currently wait for my partner to do the shopping. So, yeah, you might hear some beeps and all that sort of fun stuff, unfortunately. As always, I want to plug myself a little bit. So, feel free to pop along to my Instagram, at the Kiwi Don, all together. Also, check out my website, costasenterprises.business.blog. And as always, you guys can email me. I'm still waiting for people to email me their questions in lieu of getting closer and closer now to that 1,000 listens, where I will do my giveaway, which I talked about last week. You can email me at doncostas@gmail.com. That's DONCOSTAS at gmail.com. So, today's episode. Well, in addition to the amazing 794 listens that I've got, I thought I would just touch on just this crazy thing that's happened to me in the last couple of days, in the last week, basically, regarding my Redbubble. So we're going to talk about sort of like the increase in social media traffic and trending. I seem to be in part of a trending result, which is pretty cool, and on a first page, which is the main reason why I think I've had so many sales. And I'm going to talk about my sales that I've had. I've had about 4 sales in 3 days, which just shocked me, and most of those products were regarding this particular, what I think is a possible trend, and the other one was a separate thing, which I was really surprised by as well. And I'll just talk about why I think this has happened, and then explain a little bit about what happened and all those sorts of things. So first up, also following on from last week, I don't have COVID, yay. I am still quite sick though. I've been given antibiotics, so I'm sort of sucking on those and eating them and all that sort of fun stuff. But other than that, still not feeling fantastic, feeling pretty crap actually. But when I start talking about the stuff that I'm going to talk about, it's definitely brought a cheer to my face. So first off, what's sold? Well, I've told you guys previously about my Jacinda design that's doing well, and I've sold about 7 products of it. Well, we can chalk up another 3 masks to that. So from 2 different people, I've had 2 masks of the same design, the Can We Borrow Jacinda with her photo, and the second design, the Real Leaders Lead with Love, which is an actual trending design and has been a trending design with Jacinda edition. That has also sold, so I managed to make a t-shirt and also a mask on that sale, and so that was pretty shocking, getting those. But the one that really shocked me was the first one. So the first sort of sale I got this week, and I wasn't expecting any sales. I wasn't expecting any main traffic there. I sort of was. I was happy to sort of hit my 1 sale a week. My 1 sale a month that I am lucky enough to get sometimes. And it was actually a throw pillow cover for my Made in Japan. And that went to someone in, I want to say, Europe or England. I think it was Germany, actually, sorry. And so yeah, there was a made in Japan throw pillow, which netted me about €8, which is quite good, given that I hadn't really done much of my product pricing. Now, another thing that I've done recently, I will just quickly talk about, is I'm starting to update my product pricing. Not too much, but just a little bit. What I did was I switched my numbers to US dollars as opposed to Australian dollars, and was quite shocked to see there was quite a bit of a lot of the currencies were sort of sitting at nowhere near sort of like the 0.99 or 0.95, which is good to, that's usually what you do. You put, like, if it's $14 and you make $13.99, you're more likely to get a click through of a sale, for example. And so I switched to the US dollars, which is where most of my stuff is being sold, and I was getting things like, $13.11, and I was like, well, hang on, that's not right. So I'm slowly going through all of my items and changing them up so that they will be as close to a 0.99 as possible, but not crazy overpriced. So yeah, that's been interesting, updating that as well. As I said, most of my things that I've sold this last week has been masks, and each mask is about $1. At the time, it was $1.49 US. I've just upped that to about $1.79 US, which, it's not much, but in the scheme of things, a few cents is a few cents, which is always, something that you can use. But the main question is, why has this happened? So, I follow Jacinda on Instagram. I'm a proud Labour supporter. I'm a proud Jacinda supporter, as you guys are aware. Now, granted, as a government employee, I'm not actually allowed to have a political stance, or I'm not allowed to say whether or not I support them or not, that sort of thing. So as a government employee, I have no opinion, but as my own opinion myself, not as a government employee, I think Jacinda's amazing. And as I have talked about before, I was previously on page 1 for my Jacinda designs for a little bit. Now, under Instagram, Jacinda basically posted a photo of someone that was wearing a Jacinda mask, that when she was sitting behind the person on the airport. And I will admit, one of these masks is a mask that I've seen on Redbubble, and it is basically Jacinda's face over and over and over and over and over again. About, oh God, I wouldn't be surprised if it's close to 20 times. And it's not the most flattering of pictures. It is still Jacinda, and she is lovely and beautiful, but, when it's sort of all structured that way, it doesn't exactly look the nicest, unfortunately. But Jacinda, of course, saw it in a good way, and it was sort of like after that, I remember telling you guys about my audience, and I was sitting at about 55, I believe, or 54 or 59, around there, views on my Redbubble for the month of March. And my month of March, after I went through these sales, it was sitting at 65, and I was like, okay, 65 is not bad. And then today, after we were officially in the 1st of April, my totals were shown for 175 views on my website for Redbubble in a month, which is crazy, given that probably about 100 of those were, well, I can tell you right now, 116 of those were through social media. So people are finding my designs through social media, clicking through, which I'm assuming they've come from Instagram. So yeah, it was a real shock to see that many people visiting my site, and let alone getting, getting 3 sales of Jacinda products and 1 sale of another product. Like, I don't count the other product as part of what I'm talking about, but obviously, because of Jacinda's original Instagram post of the person's mask, people started looking for Jacinda masks through Redbubble, and because of that, they found my masks. Now, originally, my item was not set as a mask, it was set as a t-shirt. I have just changed those two to masks, given the, what's going on. So with these sorts of things, you need to try to, if you are lucky enough to be sort of in a niche or in something where something is starting to increase quite significantly, you have to adapt. Like if you know you're getting mask sales, then change to a mask. So that's pretty much why I changed my two big Jacinda listings to a mask. And now one of those listings, which is the original Can We Borrow Jacinda, it was sitting at 7 sales. It's now sitting at about 10. And the Real Leaders Lead With Love is about 3 sales. So that was quite a shock, seeing that, and I'm still hoping there will be some more, given that this is a bit of a trend at the moment. Now, when I say it is a trend, it is not a trending result, okay? So I did do a search for Jacinda, and the little arrow on Redbubble did not pop up. However, because of the amount of people that are in New Zealand and that sort of thing, obviously there was a lot of people going, oh, look, that's a cool Jacinda design, I'll get that. That's a cool Jacinda design. But because I'd made a couple of sales on my Jacinda design, I was very shocked when I did a search myself, because I was like, I'll just have a look, see where my stuff's places. Because the last time I looked, they were quite far down on the page, like maybe my main design, the one that I'd sold the most of, the 7 sales, was sitting at about, I'd say maybe around the 50 or 60 space, and then the Real Leaders Lead With Love was on the second page. Now, because of these sales, I'm basically in column 2 and 3 of the first page. So number 6, product number 6 and product number, I'd say probably about product 9. So 6 and 9 are Alex's products for this particular thing, which was very, very shocking. Very, very shocking. And gave me a bit of hope, actually, about the whole, potentially being in a trend, which is when I decided to change it to masks. Because I saw that the rest of the products that were selling were masks, including the mask that was featured on Jacinda's one, which was like result number 1. So what does this mean going forward for me? Do I start creating more Jacinda designs, throw them up? Honestly, I probably will. I know I do have one that hasn't really started trending or moved at all, because it's based at the American Jacinda for President. But now that the elections are sort of over, and they're not looking at anybody else, I don't really want to do that. So that's that. I'm not going to delete that design. It's going to stay there, because that can be an evergreen in 4 years' time, depending on how Biden does, of course. But overall, it does mean that I can start looking at what's trending in that respect. And now that I know myself in this particular niche, and I have a couple of sales in that niche, I'm ranking a lot higher on Redbubble. And as I said, I am changing my pricing of some items. Now, things like masks, I'm not going stupid. Like, I'm not going to go like, now I'm going to charge $17 for the mask, because you still want the actual sales, okay? When you get to 100 sales, you're more likely to get something. So with these particular products that I've sold, I've currently made 21 sales, and these are not including the ones that I bought myself. So the ones that I bought from myself would bump it up probably another 5 or 6, but then I don't get made any commission on that. So the other thing that all of this means is, before I told you guys I was sitting at about, I had about $13.80 in December. Now that was when they paid me out. So if you don't know, Redbubble pays its artists out anything that it makes around about the middle of December, just to sort of clear the slate. And it's kind of like they call it the yearly artist payment. And so I got paid my $13, and I was like, sweet as, I'm happy. Knowing that when I hit $20, I would have to basically create a whole new $20 because of that. And with these little sales that I've had, little by bit, I started to creep up there a little bit, and I'm currently sitting at about $32.34, which means I'm about $1 off actually making my $20 limit that you're supposed to get from Redbubble. And when you think about that seriously, and you think, well, hang on, that doesn't sound like much, Alex. But when you realize that $20 is passive income, and I get, if I'm lucky enough to create enough $20 payments per month, then those will get, each month you get paid out by Redbubble, assuming you meet the requirement of the $20. And that money gets paid directly into your PayPal account and all that sort of thing. So hopefully, if I get one more sale, I should next month in April, this month, sorry, now that we're in April 1st, I should be getting roughly a $20 payment, which is going to be a real shock and surprise because I wasn't expecting it. So yeah, it's been a real weird couple of days, and this has literally only happened since, probably Tuesday. So it has been literally a couple of days that I've had all this traffic to the site. I've had people buying things, people looking at other items. Just a real shock. And especially the Made in Japan. Now, let me give you a little bit of a thing about the Made in Japan design that sold the pillow. This is why you always enable everything on every product that you sell, okay? Unless, of course, it's mature. If it's a mature design, you can't, of course, enable on things like kids' clothes and all that sort of things. But, at the same time, if you do make things that are within a certain sort of age group, you can effectively enable everything. I never would have thought that this particular design would make a pillow. And this is not the primary thumbnail for this particular design either. And the design itself is my Made in Japan, which is basically just a red immigration type stamp on a black background. So very, very simple. And I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. All I did to the image was, it was already in Canva. All I did is I created two of them. And I put one at the back and made it black, and one at the front made it red, just so it gives it a little bit of extra oomph. And next thing you know, it's only been up on the site probably since January, maybe February, because February is when I did my my ninja designs, and that's where this one came in. So I was very, very shocked that this was, sold. I actually really like the Made in Japan sign, and it will sort of evolve into a bit more of a made in such and such and such and such and such and such niche that I want to sort of go for at some point in time. But yeah, it's been really, really cool and really, really surreal, just like seeing these people buying my stuff, especially at the moment because I'm sick. So I've been literally at home for the last week. So I've had my COVID test. I told you guys I passed. No, I failed. Which you want to fail the COVID test, obviously. You don't want to have it. And we have a new rule here, and because I actually work for the Ministry of Business, Innovation and Employment, or MB, that is where they house MIQ, which is Managed Isolation and Quarantine. So we are the guys that actually, we kind of have to adhere. If they say, look, you got to stay home, you got to stay home. So, because it would not look good if there was an employee that was not doing what they were supposed to, especially an MB employee. However, that said, I got told when I did my COVID test that I am supposed to stay at home until I actually get rid of my symptoms. Now, as you can probably hear from my voice, I still sound quite sick. I've had to stop this a couple of times to cough, to breathe, to drink water so that I can actually talk for a bit. And yeah, I'm not doing too well. I've been taking antibiotics and all that sort of fun stuff as well. But I only actually started those yesterday, just because, yeah, fun instructions from a doctor. But the main point I'm trying to get to is I've been at home a lot, and while I should have been focusing on things like Redbubble, I was focusing on, like, you know, trying to sleep, trying to rest, trying to get better, because that's the most important thing in my life at the moment, is to get better. And during this time, it's been a nice little welcome look to sort of go through my emails and go, oh, I made a sale. Oh, I made a sale. And then today, actually having some emails come through going, manufacturing email has been sent. So for those that don't know, when you make a sale on Redbubble, you may think, oh yeah, I get that money now. You don't. You get that money once it's been manufactured. You will get a manufacturing email that's sent to you as well, saying this has been manufactured, this is how much it costed, this is what you get now. And you get the over and above amount that you put on the actual product and so forth. So that was quite cool, looking at that and going, okay, you know, getting 4 sales and going, yeah, I got 4 sales. But until you get the manufacturing email, then you know you're actually getting the money. So getting 2 of those today was really, really quite cool. And of course, another 2 to go. And yeah, it's just been really interesting, especially seeing the things like the different things sell for different amounts. Like selling 3 masks at $1.48, and then $1.78 after I put the mask up. And I was like, oh, okay, that's quite cool. That's quite cool. So yeah, it's been one of those ones where looking at everything and going, okay, I don't have to increase this by a lot, but even if I get 1 or 2 sales on this, it'll get this. And at the moment, I just want to hit that 100 sales. Get that 100 sales and I'm happy. You know, once I start, if I can make over a year, let's be honest, if I can make $60, I'm going to be wrapped. US. So you got to remember that's about $100 New Zealand. So that's $100 I didn't have. That's $100 I'm working for that I did very little work for. I just created a design and uploaded it. So yeah, if you take nothing away from this podcast today, at least take this away. If you do create your own print on demand, Redbubble or Teespring or any other type of thing, you upload the designs. I've just told you, you know, if I can get $100, that's $100 I didn't have. That's a $100 Christmas present for my partner. That's petrol for a week. And I had to do very little to do it. Like, if you decide to go down the way of a Printify or a Shopify type store, then, you know, you could be looking at more than that. But you won't have the audience that the other people do. Unless you're like a streamer, in which case, you know what, go for Teespring. Get those sales that way. I really want to push to people like when it's times like Easter and you might be one of these people that you've got nothing to do. You know what? Open up a free Canva site. Open up a free Redbubble. Start uploading some designs. Look, even if they're crappy designs, you can always take them down. Even if it's just text designs, you can always change them up afterwards. But get them uploaded. It's free. It's very low hassle. There's plenty of stuff on YouTube on how to make a transparent image if you don't want to pay for the Canva to have them automatically inserted as a transparent image. Go to Placeit. Placeit.net is another one where it's literally free. You can download a free I mean, I know you don't get as much customization as Canva, but you can do a transparent download on that as well if you don't want to. Use things like Adobe or anything like that. If you don't know how to use that stuff, you can use Placeit for that sort of thing. So yeah, I hope everyone has a great Easter. Again, send me your emails, send me your questions. We're getting closer and closer to the 1,000 listens, when I will do my answer the questions that come up, and also the giveaway. As I said, it'll be choices of the person that wins, whether they want a one-on-one call to discuss a business or anything like that, or they want help with a CV or a cover letter or interview questions, or it could even be just a life coaching type thing. It could be, or it could be up to $100 US worth of products from my store. Completely up to you. It's what I want to, I want to give back to you guys, because you guys give back to me. You may not talk to me or anything like that, but you guys are there to listen. And to me, that means a lot. So I wish everyone a happy Easter. As we say in Greek, on Easter Sunday, which if you're listening this on Sunday, then you can say this. You can say Christos Anesti, which is, we usually crack the eggs at Easter time, where you crack a hard-boiled egg against another hard-boiled egg. You say Christos Anesti, and you say Christos Enviat, or Anviat, sorry, which is basically Christ has risen, which is why you do it on Easter Sunday. And usually it's coloured eggs and that sort of things. And if you're lucky enough to sort of have a boiled egg which doesn't crack, versus everyone else's eggs that you do crack, then you consider to have good luck. That egg is a good luck for the next year, sort of thing. So I wish everyone has that hard-boiled egg which, doesn't crack, for the next year. Go forth, find your dreams, do what you need to do. Remember always that I love you guys very, very much. As I said, I may not hear from you guys personally, but I do love you, and I hope you're having a fantastic time. If you're having a break, enjoy it. If you're not having a break, you know what? Be happy. There's chocolate eggs out there. And know always that not only do I love you, but, good luck. You all can do whatever you want to put your mind to. So until next week, I love you and good luck.